Hello everybody, hope all of you are well, and today I will continue your organic chemistry part. Okay, today I will discuss the functional group. Functional group may be defined as atom or groups of atoms which determines the characteristic properties of all the members of the same homologous series. Okay, now you have to know the different types of functional groups, their structure, their common name as well as their IUPAC. So some functional groups in the organic chemistry. Okay, now I am discussing. First you have to remember that carboxylic acid, this functional group is generally denoted by the formula that is COOH. Okay, and we can take one example like CH3COOH. This one is called acetic acid, this is a common name. Next, another functional group like sulfonic acid. Sulfonic acid formula will be what? SO3H. And here we can think about the example. If this SO3H is attached with benzene ring, then it is called benzene sulfonic acid. Benzene sulfonic acid. Third, next we will discuss that ester functional group. Ester, that will be represented by this formula C double bond O R. R is called alkyl group. Alkyl group means when from any alkane one hydrogen will be eliminated, that group is called alkyl group. Like methane, if we if we remove one hydrogen, that CH3 group is called methyl. Okay, in ethane, if we remove one hydrogen and attach with another thing, and this C2H5 group is called ethyl. This is called alkyl. So this is the ester group, and we can take one example, that is CH3 COO C2H5. This one is called, the common name is ethyl acetate. So this is the ester of acetic acid. Okay. Next functional group we will discuss, that will be the aldehyde. In case of aldehyde, the functional group, all of you know, that will be represented by CHO. We can think about the CH3CHO. This is called acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde. Next we will discuss the ketone functional group. Okay, that is KETONE, and it is generally represented by this functional group. Here both sides there will be alkyl group. Okay, and we can take the example of the symmetrical ketone. This one is called acetone. Next we will discuss the functional group, that is ether. In case of ether, both sides of oxygen there will be two alkyl group. Okay, it may be same or it may be different based on this. One will be simple ether or mixed ether, and here we can take example that CH3 OCH3. This one is called dimethyl ether. Next functional group we will discuss, that acid halide. Acid halide, here halide may be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. We are writing the general formula, that is COX. Okay, suppose if we write this compound from this acid halide, CH3COCl, this name is acetyl chloride. Next, after acid halide, next functional group we can think about the amide, that is amido or amide. So CONH2. Here we can think about CH3CONH2. This one is called acetamide. Okay. Next, so here you can write amide. Okay, not amido. You write amide. Okay. Next we can think that the NH2 group is there. This amine group or amine. NH2. This amine may be primary, secondary, tertiary, that we will discuss later. Okay. So when CH3NH2 is there, this one is called methylamine. So in this way you have to remember the name of the function group, its formula, and its different types of homologous series members. After amine, we can think about that nitrile or cyanide functional group, that is cyano, functional group is cyano, that is the 10, generally represented by CN, okay, and here we can write CH3CN, methyl cyanide, Next we can think about that isocyan, is NC, here methyl isocyanate, Next we can think about, after cyano we can think about hydrox, that is OH function. We can take the example of CH3OH. This one is called methyl alcohol, methanol. Methyl alcohol common name, and methanol is the IUPAC name. Okay. Next we can think about after hydroxy we can think about the halide or halo. Can be represented by X. It may be fluorine, it may be chlorine, bromine, iodine. And actually we are not considering the radioactive. So here we can think about CH3Cl. Its name is methyl chloride. XIV. After halo the compound we can think about the nitro. Nitro I have not discussed. The nitro is NO2, CH3NO2. That will be nitromethane. After nitro, there may be another type of functional group, that is nitroso. That is NO. Okay. CH3NO, or here we can think about this one, the nitrosobenzene. Okay, nitroso. Next we can think after nitroso, that is diazonium. Okay, that is N2 plus. This is diazo. N111 plus, like benzene diazonium chloride. Here maybe Cl minus also will be there. Benzene diazonium chloride. After diazonium, we can think about one anhydride, acid anhydride. That is also very important. You have to remember acid anhydride. Its general formula will be like this. Okay. Here in both sides it will give methyl. then the compound name is ethanoic anhydride. Ethanoic anhydride. Here this anhydride is also one kind of functional group. Okay, actually when these two acid molecules will come, there will be elimination of water and we will get this type of structure. This is also one kind of functional group. Okay, so this functional group you have to remember. Okay, you have to practice. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Okay, to learn the organic chemistry. So first thing you have to remember this functional group and you have to practice. Suppose if I give you a structure, then you have to identify which functional groups are present in that particular organic compound. There may be compound without any functional group. Okay, like alkanes, there is no functional group. Sometimes double bond, triple bond we are also considering. Okay, actually these are the these are the unsaturated hydrocarbons. Okay, we are not considering the functional group. Okay. Next we will discuss the classification of organic compound. So organic compound may be classified into two. One will be the chain type of compound, another will be the cyclic or closed chain or ring type of compound. Okay. So next we will discuss the organic classification of organic compound. Organic compound classification. First, chain, or we can write acyclic compound, and this side we can write the closed chain or ring compounds. Okay. Now this chain type of compound may be straight chain or it may be branch chain. Okay, so this may be straight chain or it may be branch chain. Another classification we can do, this straight chain may be containing all carbon-carbon single bond, then it is called saturated, and this is another double bond, presence of double bond or triple bond, we call it unsaturated. Here also same thing will come, that it may be saturated or unsaturated, both type is possible. Okay. Next we will discuss that this cyclic chain or ring compounds that can be divided into two categories. One may be homocyclic, another heterocyclic. Okay. Now homocyclic may be two types. Homocyclic may be alicyclic or aromatic. It may be two types. One is alicyclic and another will be aromatic. Hope you can understand. Alicyclic, I can give you example like cyclohexane. And in case of aromatic, this may be two types. One is benzenoate another is non-benzenoate. So that means in one aromatic ring there will be the presence of benzene ring, like benzene, naphthalene. These are benzenoate type of aromatic compound. And in another aromatic type of compound, there may not be benzene ring. Okay, we can think about this type of aromatic compound. That is cyclobutadiene anion. Maybe it is a non-benzenoid type of aromatic compound. We can think about cyclopropynyl cation. This is also non-benzenoid. We can think about azulene. Azulene type of compound, these are also non-benzenoid. And heterocyclic compound also may be two types. It may be alicyclic and it may be aromatic. Alicyclic, we can think about this one. This compound is called THF, tetrahydrofuran. And aromatic, all of you know that pyridine. Now what is homo and what is heterocyclic? Homo means all are same, that means all are carbon. They are all in cycle, all are carbon. But if in the cycle other than carbon, that means heteroatom, it may be nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur is present, then it is called that heterocyclic aromatic compound. So we can think about the furan, we can think about the pyrrole. Okay, these are also heterocyclic aromatic compound. When we are putting oxygen here, this is also an aromatic compound. When we are putting sulfur here, that is also aromatic compound. Okay, here lone pair is present here also. So this compound is called furan and this compound is called thiol. So in this way we can classify the organic compounds. Next we will discuss the classification of carbon as primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary. If we draw one structure, then you can easily understand which one is primary, which one is secondary, which one is tertiary. Okay, you can easily understand. Okay, now when a carbon atom is attached only one carbon atom, then it is called primary carbon atom. Suppose this one is carbon atom is attached with only one carbon atom. Okay, others are hydrogen, these are the hydrogens. So in this case both the carbon atoms are called primary. This is 1 degree. Okay, they are called 1 degree carbon atom or primary carbon atom. If a carbon atom is attached with two other carbon atoms, then it is called secondary carbon atom. Suppose this carbon is attached with other two carbon atoms. Then this carbon atom, okay, this carbon atom is called 2 degree or secondary carbon atom. If a carbon atom is attached with 3 carbon atoms, then this carbon atom is called 3 degree or tertiary carbon atom. And if a carbon atom is attached with 4 carbon atoms, then this carbon is called 4th degree or quaternary carbon atom. So I have drawn this structure. So from here you have to tell which one is what. So here this carbon atom is attached with only one carbon atom. Definitely it will be 1 degree. This will be 1 degree. This will be 1 degree. And 1 degree are called primary. So this one is also primary. And now this carbon atom is attached with 3 carbon atom. So this is called 3 degree. And this carbon is attached with another 2 carbon. The other 2 carbon. So this one is 2 degree and this one is 4 degree. So in this molecule, okay, all type of carbon atoms are present. Now hope you can understand the classification of carbon. Okay. And sometimes after functional group, suppose this is on COOH acid. Next to the functional group carbon, this carbon is called alpha carbon, this is called beta carbon, this is called gamma carbon, this is called delta carbon. In this way you have to do it. Okay. So after functional group, if I give here OH, definitely it will be the alpha carbon, it will be beta, gamma, this one is called delta carbon. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the nomenclature of the organic compounds. So from class 10 already you have knowledge. Okay, in the earlier days when we are naming the organic compounds, okay, then what generally we have done that that time the scientist named the organic compound according to the property or the source of the organic compound. Like we can think about the methane. Methane was named as marshy gas because it is found generally in the marshy lands. That is why it is called methane. We can think about the formic acid. Formic acid, that is the HCOH. Okay, HCOH is called formic acid. Why it is called formic acid? Because in ants' sting, this acid is present, formic acid. If we distill the ant, okay, then we will get one acid that is called formic acid, and the Latin name of ant is formica. So from this formica, the formic acid name is coming. Okay, and also acetic acid. We are generally called this CH3COO is vinegar. That is called acetam. From acetam, the name is coming acetic acid. These are the common name or trivial name. Now you have to remember both this type of name, common name as well as IUPAC name also. Okay. Now this type of names, okay, that the trivial names and common names, it is very difficult to remember because different places, different peoples are giving their name, okay, according to the source and according to their properties. Okay, there should be a systematic nomenclature. Okay, and this systematic nomenclature was given by IUPAC Union, that is the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, and now it is used all over the world today. And we are for a particular organic compound, okay, all over the world there is only one name. Okay, now it is systematic also. Now we will discuss the IUPAC nomenclature. So IUPAC nomenclature consists of three parts. One is called prefix. We are discussing IUPAC nomenclature or IUPAC nomenclature. Full name just now I told, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So here three parts is there in this naming. One is called prefix. Second one is called word root. Okay. This is the main chain. And third one is called suffix. Now first we will discuss the prefix. Okay. Or we can think about the word root. Okay. First we will discuss the word root, then it will be easier for you. So what is word root? It is the basic unit of the name. Okay, it depends upon the number of carbon atoms. Now what will be the number of carbon atoms in a compound? That is the selection of the longest carbon chain, and which is generally called as parent chain. Now if in the chain, in this word root, okay, if only one carbon atom is present, okay, then we will tell it meth. If there is two carbon atoms, then we will tell eth. Then three carbon atoms, here we can write here, one carbon atom, two carbon atom. If there is in chain three carbon atom, then what we will write? We will write prop. Then if there is four carbon atom, then we will call it but. So I think all of you know that in case of one, it will be meth. Okay. In case of two, there will be eth. In case of three, there will be prop. In case of four, there will be but. Then 5, pent, hex, hep, op. When it will be 10, it will be dec. Okay. If there is 11, then it is hendec or undec. Okay. If there is 12, then it is called dudec. In this way it will go. If there is 20, then it is called icosane. Okay. If there is 30, then it is called tricontan. Okay. 40, then it is C40, then it is tetracontan. In this way you have to remember. Okay. Next we will discuss about the suffix. Then we will discuss suffix. Later we will discuss this prefix. Okay. Next, suffix. The word root is followed by the appropriate suffix to be represent the nature of the carbon and the functional group present. Suppose if there is carbon-carbon single bond, then what suffix we have to add with this root word? Okay, for what root? We have to add suffix n. If there is carbon-carbon double bond, then we have to add in. If there is carbon-carbon triple bond, then we have to add in. So in this way, one by one we have to do. If there is COOH, that you have to remember, that oic acid we have to add. If there is CHO, then we have to add L. If there is OH, then all. So in this way you have to remember this thing. Okay. Now in case of functional group, okay, we have to add secondary suffix, that is after the primary suffix, okay, to indicate the nature of the functional group. And while adding the secondary suffix, the primary suffix, the terminal E, we have to remove or we have to drop. Okay. If I give one example, then you can easily understand. Suppose if I am writing this compound CH3, CH2OH. So in this case, this is the what root is the propane. Okay. Now what we should write? When OH is there, we know this is all. Then what we will write here? So here you have to mention the position also. This one is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if we write propane 1 all. Okay. So it will be incorrect. It's wrong. So here we have to drop this E. Another rule is there. If in the functional group there is vowel A, E, I, O, U, then we have to drop this E. If there is consonant, we need not to drop this one. Okay, that is another rule is there. Okay, so what will be the name? Here we have to write propan 1 all. Only E will be dropped, not N. Okay, only E will be dropped, and this nomenclature is wrong. So propan 1 all, or we can write 1 propanol. Hope you can understand. Suppose in this case, okay, if I draw the structure like this, that is the glycerol. So in this case, what we will write? Here the terminal E is written. If the complete secondary suffix begins with a consonant, okay. Here the 3 OH is there, so we have to write triol. So here as T is the consonant, so here we will not drop the E. Here we will write propane triol. Propane 1, 2, 3 triol. Okay. So that you have to understand. Next we will discuss that prefix. In a compound, that means in an organic compound or organic molecule, there may be more than one function. Now in your class 10, the syllabus was restricted to one functional group. Now in your organic molecule, there may be more than one functional group. Okay. So here if there is more than one functional group, then one will be the principal functional group, and there is one list. From their list you can understand or remember the priority, okay, which will be the principal functional group, okay, and other functional group, okay, we have to consider or will be considered as the substituent like the side chains. Now the prefix are added before the word root to indicate the nature of the side chains or substituents attached to the parent chain. Now you have to remember one list according to the priority. Okay, so that I am writing here. This whole series you have to remember. Otherwise, you will not be able to write the basic nomenclature. First, you have to, on a first priority, According to your study, ammonium is the first. We are not discussing here. From COOH we are discussing. So first will be COOH and oic acid. What will be the oic acid? This one is the suffix. And if it is prefix, then what you have to write? If the COOH is the prefix, then you have to write carboxy. And in each case, you have to practice example. Next, there is the position of, this is according to the priority. We will check also your book also. Next, there will be SO3H. In case of SO3H, what will be the suffix? That will be the sulfonic acid. Okay. And here prefix you can add sulfur. Next, we will discuss that the acid anhydride. Okay, here there will be no prefix, all time you will write that anhydride. That is the C double bond O, C double bond O, anhydride. And next there is position of the ester, C double R. In case of ester, the suffix will be the alkyl alkanoate. Okay, alkyl weight. Alkyl weight. This one is the alkyl, this one is the weight. And what will be the prefix here? Prefix will be carboalkoxy. Carboalkoxy. After ester, there will be the position of the acid halide COX. It may be X, may be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and it will be alkyl chloride. Okay. Acyl chloride. Alkyl chloride or alkyl halide. Like if we think about the CH3, CH2, COCl, this is called propanoyl chloride. Then you have to write alkanoyl halide. Alkanoyl halide. Okay, and if you think about the prefix of this compound, that is CON, that is the carboalkoxy. Next, we will discuss that next position is the amide, CONH2. In case of amide, the suffix will be that CONH2 amide, and when it will be added as prefix, then we have to write carboxamide. Here we are adding this carbo because carbon will be included. It will be not in the main chain. Okay, so that is why we have to write this carboxamide, carboxy. Okay, there is carboxy. That is why we are writing this thing. After this amide, there will be the position of CN, that means nitrile or cyanide. So in this case, what will be the suffix? Suffix will be nitrile and prefix will be the cyanide. Next, the position is for aldehyde. In case of aldehyde, all of you know that in class 10 it was there in the syllabus. You have to add L, A and L. But when it is prefix, okay, then you have to write formyl. After aldehyde, there is the position of ketone, C double bond O. And in case of ketone, the suffix will be added on. And what will be the prefix here? Prefix here we can add keto or oxo, that we can add. Okay. Next, there will be the position of the OH. OH is suffix we have to add all, O and L, all. and here prefix we can write as hydroxy. This full chart you have to remember. Okay. Next we can think about the NH2 group, and here in suffix, okay, we have to add amine, and in prefix we will write amino. Next we will discuss, so whatever we are writing, that is according to the priority. Okay, after amine there will be the position of the ether. Here the suffix will be the alkoxyalkane. Alkoxyalkane. So prefix actually here alkoxy, methoxy, okay, like this will come. Then we can write the nitro, and in case of nitro there will be no suffix, okay, prefix will be nitro. Generally it is named as nitroalkane, okay, like nitromethane, nitropropane, okay, like this. Next, if we will think about the halo, this is the position of the halogen, maybe fluoro, bromo, iodo, okay, and regarding the preference we have to take the alphabetical preference, and here also no suffix, we have to add halo, like haloalkane, okay, like chloromethane, so in this way. So this chart, priority chart of the different functional group, you have to remember. Suppose in a compound there are two functional groups, COOH and OH. As the in this series, okay, or in this table, at the position of COOH is in the top, okay, and OH is the lower. So definitely COOH will be the principal functional group. So that's a complete IUPAC name of an organic compound may be represented as, first we have to write prefix, then we have to write the word root, then we have to write the primary suffix or secondary suffix. So you try to remember this thing and you study this compound. Okay, today I am just showing one example, and then next day we will discuss in details. So we have to discuss the nomenclature of alkane or unsaturated compound, alkene, alkyne. Then we will go to the functional group step by step. Then you will be able to understand in a better way. Now I am today's discussion, finally we are giving one example so that you can easily understand. Suppose I am writing one example. Here we are putting here chlorine. Now here, if we want to write the name of this compound, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the compound name we have to write in this way, that 3-chloro-pentanoic acid. Okay. Now here each thing you have to understand. So what is the 3-chloro? 3-chloro is the prefix. Here we have given this one because this is the principal functional group that I will discuss, and this is the secondary functional group. Here we are regarding this as substituents. Okay, considering as a substituent. Next, this pentane is dropped here. Okay. Because after that E there will be vowel O, that is why E is dropped. So actually it is alkanoic acid, here we have written pentanoic acid. So this pentane is what? This is the word root. Then this oic acid is present. Okay. Now what is this oic acid? This oic acid is the secondary suffix. Here we can thing that paint. Paint is indicating that 5 carbon is present. So only paint you can think about. This one is the word root, and ANEN, okay, E is drop. This one is the primary suffix, and this one is the secondary suffix. So in this way we have to write the IUPAC name of a particular compound. So again I am telling, first will be prefix, then there will be word root, then we have to write the primary suffix, and then we have to write the secondary suffix. Okay, hope you can understand, and many examples are already given in your book. You have to practice, and next day we will start from the IUPAC nomenclature of alkane. Okay, then we will go for that unsaturated alkene and alkyne. Okay, next we will go to the functional. So today up to this, thank you.